Hello children. In today's social class, we are learning about trading activities with me, your social studies teacher Meena. Let's know what is trade. Trade is the exchange of goods and services with the aim of earning profit. The activity of buying or selling or exchanging goods and services between people or countries is known as trade. These goods are either produced in the sector of agriculture or by industry, and a person who buys and sells goods and services is called a trader. Generally, trade is done to make profit or to fulfill the needs of the people. All the goods and services that we find in our surroundings is the result of trade. Trade can be classified into two types, which are internal or domestic trade, external or international trade. Now children, let's find out what kind of trade is this internal trade. It is the trade carried on within the country, that is, the buying and selling of goods and services are being done within the territory of a country. It is also called as domestic trade because the trade is done only inside the nation. For example, tea produced in Ilam is sold in Kathmandu. Apple produced in Humla or Jumla is sold in Kathmandu and other districts inside the nation. External trade is carried on between or among various countries. That is, the buying and selling of goods and services are being done outside the territory of a country or with another country. It is also called as international trade because the trade is done with foreign countries. For example, we use Chinese wristwatch made in China or ride Indian motorbikes made in India. These goods are sold and brought here in our country. In the same way, the carpets made in Nepal are sold to Germany and other foreign countries. When we are talking about external trade, there come these two terms or process. They are import and export. When the country buy the foreign goods, it is called import, or buying goods in foreign countries and bringing them to the native country for sale is called import. Many goods and services we find in the market made in foreign countries are the import done by our country. In the similar way, selling Nepalese goods that are made in Nepal to foreign countries is called export. Children, let's see the items imported by Nepal. As you can see, many expensive and high-priced materials are brought or imported by our country like petroleum, electronic goods, machinery, raw materials for industries, spices, textiles, etc. And what does Nepal export? It usually exports low-price materials in comparison to importing high-priced foreign goods. So, Nepal export items like carpets, handicrafts, medicinal herbs, ready-made garments, vegetables, ghee, oil seeds, etc. Nepal's external trade is not in balance. Nepal imports more goods from other countries than it exports. This has caused huge trade deficit in the country. So, trade deficit means when the value of import is more than the value of export, that is, when country imports more foreign goods which have very high prices. That is why Nepal is in severe trade loss. But when a country exports more than it imports, has a higher income, It is the condition of trade surplus or benefit. It can be done by reducing import and increasing export. In the same way, when there is equal value of import and export, then it is called trade balance. Trade is very important for economic development of a nation. Trade makes the goods available that we need in our daily life and helps to sell our products, which brings us money. When trade is better, it encourages our people and industries to produce more goods of better quality, which strengthens national economy. The rich and developed countries of the world have large amount of quality products which brings them huge profit. The present condition of trade in Nepal is not satisfactory. Most of the people are involved in agriculture. That is why Nepal's main trade is agriculture. The number of industries is less in Nepal and most of them are agro-based industries. Nepal is a developing country, so it has not been able to produce enough industrial goods and construction materials. That is why we Nepalese people have to depend on many foreign goods to fulfill our needs. These goods imported by Nepal have very high prices in comparison to the goods that Nepal exports. So, Nepal is having huge trade deficit in international trade. Nepal exports mostly raw materials which have low price in comparison to industrial goods imported from foreign countries. The unfavorable environment seen in the industries of Nepal for the last few years has ultimately led to some industries being closed. It has increased the amount of imports. Insecurity, problem of load shedding, conflict between workers and owners, etc., are some of the causes leading the industries to be closed. It has directly affected the trade and economy of Nepal. Now let's continue the problems of trade faced by Nepal. We know our country, being a landlocked country, is facing lots and lots of problems. Firstly, due to unmanaged open borders, there is a large flow of Indian goods at a low prices. At borders, smugglers are doing illegal trade which affect our economy. Unstable political condition and lack of good policies and planning also creates problems of trade. Nepal does not have well-developed industrial base, therefore production is of low quality and it costs more to produce, which makes its product non-competitive for the international marketplace. It also lacks modern infrastructures for developing an industrial base, which greatly affects the production of goods. Even time and again, strike, protest, and closures have added problems in trade that has made many industries to close down. There is no proper industrial security. The industry owners are forced to pay donations to different parties and criminal groups. Uncertain and irregular supply of electricity, conflicts between the industry owners and workers, unclear state policy, etc. have reduced the production of goods and the volume of export has decreased. But the volume of import has increased, which has resulted into trade deficit or trade loss in Nepal. For long, Nepal's foreign trade was limited to India only. Nepal could not conduct trade with other countries. The Nepalese consumers could not use foreign goods nor could Nepal make profit from foreign trade. Now, Nepal has adopted the policy of trade diversification. That means establishing trade relations with different countries. It is a process of buying and selling varieties of goods from various countries. A country cannot limit its trade activity to one country alone. It engages in trade activity with the several other countries. This is called trade diversification. Now, Nepal conducts trade also with China, Korea, Japan, Germany, USA, Russia, etc. Similarly, in the country, the goods and services are brought from other places if they are not available, and the goods are sold to other places if there is excess amount of production. Thus, the exchange of goods and services within and outside the country is called trading activity. Now, let's learn the benefits of trade diversification. Trade diversification helps us to import low price goods from foreign countries. It helps to make good trade relations with many countries. It helps to import varieties of goods from foreign countries. It creates the decrement on price value of goods and creates fair competition in the market, because now our country is not compelled to import high price goods from only one country, but can trade with any other country who can send goods at low prices, which also helps in saving foreign currency. Another advantage is that the consumers can choose goods of their choice from a variety of goods available in the country. There are a large variety of goods for sale. Different kinds of goods are imported from different countries. So, the consumers can buy the things of their own choice and necessity. There are local bazaars where the producers of goods can sell their goods and buy materials of their choice. So, trade diversification helps a nation to save foreign currency. Now, children, here are the questions for you to do. When you write the answer, please write in a full sentence.